Okay. Now, so the next thing we're going to get into is we talked about the paintbrush tool. And we have access to all these different brushes here. These, and we can change the mark of our brush. So right now, what we're working on, we're thinking about, we're cutting, selecting, and pasting, and now drawing and painting. We have these brushes over here too, that you can use this menu here. You can click here. You can actually make your own brush if you wanted to, Mark. We're going to do that later on in the class. But all of these different kinds of mark making things you will have access to. So we can select something. Let me see. Let's select, excuse me. Okay, so one of the things that I want to say is that the more you practice, the better that you get with After Effects. So I don't want you to feel overwhelmed and you're like, oh, I can't remember. It's impossible to remember. So what I would always suggest with this class is that what we usually do is that when we meet in person is that we just, I'm going to do a few things and then you guys are going to, do them as well on your home computer. So anytime you're just doing something with me, you'll be able to catch on. And then if you have any questions of like how to do this or I can't do that, then let me know. Now, with the quick selection tool, is that when you're selecting something, especially with photographs, it gets a little sticky. This is basically from the Magic Wand tool, which is an older tool, but they made an even better tool, the quick selection, which if something that you don't want, you click the subtraction. Sometimes it automatically does it. You can also change the tip of the quick selection tool. You can change like the mark, hardness. Every single time that you select a tool, that tool will show up here. Okay. If I want to add to that tool, I can, etc. But what we're going to do is that we're going to just paint inside this shape. Okay, we're just going to play with painting inside the shape. And I'm going to use the eyedropper actually tool. And I'm going to choose a color. And excuse me. There's so many different things that you can do, with Photoshop. And of course, we're going to work on making your images stronger and doing learning basic editing of, fixing a photograph, but then also just kind of like manipulating these tools to basically make anything you want. The first Photoshop project we're going to do is your alter ego. So basically you're going to use a photograph and any photograph you want, and you can use multiple photographs. You don't even have to use a photograph, but you're going to basically do a portrait, a self-portrait of your alter ego, whatever that is. So right now we're just practicing and we're just playing with different things, okay? So I'm going over to the quick selection and I want to play all of these different, just add some texture to these different shapes by using the brush. And, oh, I want to use a different color too. So let's see. Maybe I'll do the blue. And, okay. Different. This one, have it kind of like bleed in. And then I want to do, we're going to use now the stamping tool. Okay, so you know what, try these out. I may be going too fast. So how are you guys doing? Just let me know when you're ready to try something else.
Right now, I'm still trying to get Photoshop to open because it crashed on me like 3 times, but I think it's gonna finally open now.
Okay, okay, got it. Anyone else want to share their virtual landscape? I want to see what you guys can do, so I'll know what I can, you know, extra things I can teach you.
I have mine from last week that's done. I can show that one.
Question, the
Sure.
one from last week, do we send you that in the email?
Sure, email it to me. That's classwork.
Okay.
Yep. Sure, Albert, right?
Yes.
Albert.
Let me see. It won't let me screen share.
Okay, try it one more time. Oh, wonderful.
And that's from last week.
Mm-hmm. It was great. Thank you, Albert.
Thank you.
Mhm. Anyone else want to share? No one wants to share their virtual landscape?
I could share, but I don't have screen share. I would just turn on my video if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Let me just
Okay.
find you.
Yeah.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
All right. Let me just make sure. Okay. And then switch. Okay. So this is mine. I don't know if you can see it correctly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
can,
it's a
great.
spin-off from one of my. Yeah, I just did gradients and then the buildings. Everything is really just used with the select tool and gradient tool.
Totally fine. That reminds me, I need to show you guys the gradient. We are going to do a little bit of the gradient. So that's great.
Okay.
It looks good. And it looks like you added a little color on that that sphere. Did you?
The sphere, this one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I added color and then I used like one of the brushes to make it textured and I try to make it look like a moon, but I don't really know. I feel like it's a little flat, but
It's good. It's fantastic.
yeah, I like making stories with it. Yeah,
Wonderful.
thank you.
Thank you, Brianna.
You're welcome.
Anyone else want to share? All right. No one else? All right. So we're going to go back to Photoshop. Okay. So that reminds me of, yes, of the gradient tool. So it's good. So once you select the gradient tool, you select what you want. And then you can go in the direction that you want. We are going to, you do have different types of gradients that you can use. And Also on the top menu, again, every time you use a tool, you have the top menu and you can kind of play with different types, you know, of gradients. And you can also kind of change the color too. So let's see. So I can select it, and then I can also add another color. I could take a color from here. Kind of like that one. All right. So let me see. So we went over the gradient tool, the eraser tool. Now we're going to go over the tools more than once, so it's not to worry. We're just going to practice. Now the next thing that we're going to do is using the clone tool, which is really fantastic. So basically, say for instance, I have this and I want a little bit of it to appear in this other sphere. So what I do is I click Option on the Mac, and then I can have this kind of appear. And then this is a chance where you can play with the flow. You can have the flow be a little less, opacity be a little less too. Oh. It would have been good if I would have just selected this first, actually, before I played with that. So I can have a nice clean edge. Okay, so now I'm going to go back. I'm going to click Command. So wherever I click Command where I want it to kind of reappear, then it will reappear there. And then I can also, if I wanted some of this over here, I can have some of that in there. Okay. Let's see what else. I want you guys to try it out. Try out the gradient tool, which is right underneath the bucket. And then I want you to try out the clone tool. Okay. And let me know when you're ready for the next thing, because we're going to completely do something different. Yep, just let me know when you're ready. It's no rush.
Miss, how do I delete something like when we fill in the using the what is it? The quick select tool? Like when we fill in the color in, how do we delete undo it?
You can go back to Command Z, or you can also the history, you can always go back to. The history button is right up here, has all the history. Now you're saying that you have something and you want to delete it. You have an object or
Yeah, like inside one of the shapes.
one of the
And I
shapes.
was
Okay.
quick selecting it, one of the shapes, and just like filling it in with the brush. And I wanted to undo something that I was.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. So that I would use Command Z for.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
All
really
right.
fast and
Okay.
it's going to be your best friend. And
Okay.
then it's Control Z for PC.
Okay. Thank you so much.
No problem. So whenever you're ready, let me know because we're going to move on. Okay. And when you're ready, what I want you to do is to upload your person and you're going to also upload your background image too.
So we just upload a picture of ourselves.
Yeah, you can do any picture of a person, of a place. So right now, so far, what you've done, you've turned in your questionnaire. You know how to open up a document in Photoshop. You know how to save a document. You know how to change the size. I'm going to review over that. Even though we did that on the first class, you understand a little bit of the interface. We're still in the beginning entry level phase. You know how to use the move tool, the marquee tool, the lasso tool, paint bucket tool, magic wand tool, the crop tool. You know how to select, paste, deselect. You know how to hide the layers and swatches or any panel in your interface. You know how to create a layer. Now you're able to make shapes in landscapes from basic shapes. You understand how to make the layer translucent or to make adjustments to the layer. You know how to transform an object or shape or thing inside your composition. Okay, does everybody understand? If you don't understand everything on that list that I just said, then this is the time to ask me before I move on.
Can you repeat what you said?
I'm sorry, what?
Can you repeat that?
I said, if you don't understand anything that I just said,
No, yeah, what you just said, because it cut out for me.
oh, okay. If you don't understand anything, like anything on that list that I just called out, and you need me to refresh and do it, show you again, then, you know, this is the time before we move on to the project that's going to go towards our final project.
Can you show how to do the gradient again? Or like, because I see that there's a cube in the back. I think my, like I was working on something while you were doing that. I don't know how you did it.
All righty. Now remember, you can use the marquee tool when you make this. I'm just using the marquee tool, but I think I use the polygon tool. So I basically just selected these shapes. It's just drawing digitally. So I'm gonna, I can do this again. And let me see, the light is coming from here. So what I did, I just select the gradient tool, and then the direction that I want, where I want the blue to come from, I just click and draw. So you can see up here that there's many different types, you know, of gradient. There's, you know, there's ones that are kind of like circular. There's like ones that are sphere shaped, diamond shaped. There's so many different types. It's an angle shape. So you can play with different ones the way you want. Now, the way that I created this, it's just drawing a box basically, you know. Now, what is great is that a lot of times when I don't know how to draw something, I bring it in and I can trace it in Photoshop. So I can bring it in and then as a layer, and then I can make that layer underneath me that I'm tracing kind of like a more translucent, and I can trace that, and then I can kind of paste and things like on top, and then I can delete that layer later after I'm finished tracing. So you know, you figure out creative ways to kind of you know, draw in, fill in your images. All right, or even making images. Like if you can't, there's always a way to do it. It's usually more than a way. It's like multiple ways. So I'm gonna hit the gradient tool. And if I decide like, oh, wait, I don't want this color, I can click on this color. I can actually add other colors too. I can double click on this little box and then I can completely change the color to something else. Let's do, I don't know, I feel like I like the yellow. And then maybe I'll do this one will be the blue. I'll say, okay. Okay.
Okay, can you go over, because we learned this in the last class, can you go over how to like add texture to the background of it?
Sure. So basically right now I flatten all my layers. But say for instance, I want to So you want to, when you're making your composition, you want to think in the same way, like almost like a painter would think, is that it's painting in layers, doing everything in layers, like what's going to be on the bottom, what's going to be on the top. So you want to have, you can have as many layers as you want, you see? So right now, flatten this. I'm going to go back and then say, for instance, I want to change the color. I'm going to use the quick selection. I'm going to hold down the shift key so I can get all of this blue. This is not the best way to do it because it's kind of really hard. Actually, I want to take out this blue here. And I don't know, I kind of like this one too. So I'm going to just add the background color to be here. So what I'm going to do is on this layer, I'm going to have to delete it. Okay. And you can play when you delete in Photoshop, you know, there are certain things you do, content aware, you can do pattern, you can do all different types of things. But right now we're just going to just subtract. Oh, I forgot. Doesn't matter. So anyway, I'm going to fill this in. And I'm going to say, for instance, I'm going to fill this in with a darker blue. And then I'm going to do the paint bucket. And I have it there. And I go there. Okay. Like if I did the paint bucket, it would basically go over everything, you know. But if I have something selected, then it will just go in this particular area. Okay. Now, usually what you want to do is you want to create like some kind of like layer in the background, you know. And you know, like I like to have multiple options for what my background color is going to be. So I'll use different colors on different layers for background options. So we can see what the red will look like. Or matter of fact, let's pull this color. No, that's too, pull this one. And now as you can see, you can't see that layer, it's underneath. So then that's when you have to, that's why you need to have different layers. So I'm going to select this again. I'm going to select this again. And then I'm going to delete. And then as you can see, the bottom layer is showing right now. Okay, and I can say, oh, I don't really like that color. I want the black to the blue. You can try this one. And as you can see is that once you put the bucket down, you can still see some of the grid in the background. It's because, you know, the opacity is not 100%. And so sometimes you have to do a bucket more than once if you really want to deeply opaque. But sometimes I really like playing with the transparencies, even in a digital kind of drawing. So you also, you know, can play with that too. I love transparencies and I love playing with transparencies in a digital yeah, world. So you can play with that too. Let's just select all. And then I'm going to delete again. And then I'm going to bring this color back. As a matter of fact, and as you can see, it's a little bit kind of like not completely not completely opaque. So I'm going to use the paintbrush, and then I can also create my own kind of background sky texture too. And I can go in a little bit darker. You know, I can just go in so much that you can do. And then I can actually change the size of the brush, the type of brush. Okay. Any other questions? So I want to tell you is that this particular, your first project is actually going to be the first thing that's going to be in your website. So, you know, work on it during class time. This is a class time project. The next thing we're going to work on is creating like a double exposure. And I want you to think about where you get your images from, where you select your images from. And you can also use your own photography. I use pixel.com. Has anyone ever heard of pixel.com? Has anyone ever heard of pixel.com?
I haven't.
Okay, so this is a fantastic space to find and discover free stock photography. You can also pick up video, and you can put in anything. So what I can put in rainbow. There'll be whatever I put in rainbow. There'll always be like photos that'll come up. And you have access to using them. But again, it's, you know, it's always good to use your own images. But you can, this is a good place for you to find free stock photo and videos. Okay, so I'm going to put this in a chat. Doop-a-doo. How are you guys feeling? Are you feeling like this is easy, or you're a bit overwhelmed, or you're excited?
A little bit overwhelmed, but
Okay, that's good. I want you to tell me the truth, because I get so excited. And so to share with things, so sometimes I share too much. And you can, every human being, you know, there's only an amount that we can take in. So don't be ashamed or feeling like you're holding the class back. So that's good. Anything that I can do to help you feel more comfortable, anything that you want me to share how to do again? These are basic tools that we're going to be using all the time. They're really important. So don't worry. We're actually ahead so far of the syllabus. So just tell me if it's anything. We haven't gone through all the tools, and we're not going to go all the way through all the tools in the first week or the second week. We're going to step by step. We're going to use all of these tools, and we're going to use them in a way that you'll have a physical experience with making something with your hands, and then not only seeing it. Okay. So,
Professor,
mhm.
I wanted to know, did you want us to upload our landscape Photoshop documents today? And if so, are we emailing those to you or?
Yes, you can email them to me. They are, anytime you send me classwork, basically you get extra credit. You don't have to. Classwork is classwork. But I have to say is that your virtual landscape is an assignment that we use for the first page of your website. So you don't need to send it to me today. But it's best you send it to me today, and then I get a sense of like what you know and what you don't know. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. So
So do you want us to do this on like a new Photoshop?
no,
or-
this is just practice. We're just playing around. We're just making some landscapes, some digital landscapes. And so now what we're going to do is that we're going to do a little bit of some double exposure next. Okay. So every
Page with the landscape?
sure, you can save right here. So here's, see on top, you can see that I have several images ready for me to play with, and I can actually add a new Photoshop document at any time. I just go to File, I go to New, and then I go to Custom. This one is going to be a portrait. It's going to be a little different than the virtual landscape. So yes, we are going to do something new. I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page for the virtual landscape. You all are here.
And what do we press for portrait? Because there's different sizes.
Yes, you could use just the 8.5 by 11, and you can just turn it vertical.
Okay.
It's up to you. We're just practicing. Okay. We're just practicing through the classwork. So right now we have this virtual landscape, and then I'm going to save this. I'm going to save as. Okay. I'm going to save as, and I would save your projects as like the title of the project, like virtual landscape would be great. It would be good to have a PSD file. And then always your final project, you need to save as a JPEG or a PNG. Okay. Or yeah, JPEG, PNG is fine. You can upload those onto your website. Okay. So we're going to do a new project. And so I'm going to go to Untitled 2, and I'm going to start my new project. Just let me know if you guys are ready for the next one. Okay, are you guys ready? So, yes?
Not yet. You see
Okay.
me.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, 1 second.
Where did you select new project?
I just go to File, and I go to New.
File, no.
Mm-hmm. Now, the next thing is that to bring in photographs to Photoshop, there's many different ways that you can do it. You can, once you have your photographs downloaded, you can go into open and you can select files from your computer. You can actually open several files, and by holding down the shift key, you can select several. And then you just press open. Depending on your laptop, but you can also, if you have a Mac, you can also go to the Finder window and you can literally drag this file into Photoshop as well. So I'm just going to drag this into Photoshop and then this will open up as well. Okay. So you're going to open up a file with a person, animal. Now remember, we're not making art yet. When we make art, you're going to do that on your own time. Right now, we're just going to have some fun. We're just going to play. We're going to make some things, and we're going to do some double exposures. And I'm just going to share with you just different techniques and tools that you can do. And hopefully, while you're acquiring all of these kind of tools, you're thinking of things of like which tools you can do or use for your final project. Your final project in Photoshop is just going to be one project, and it's going to be your, I'm going to talk a little bit more about it. But basically you're going to create an alter ego, okay, through the different tools. Now I'm going to share with you a few different things in Photoshop first.
First piece, you click on the right video. This is a full in-depth step-by-step build guide on not only building a PC, but
sorry. I'm not sure who that was. So basically what you're going to do is that right now we're just playing. And then the next class that we're going to have is going to be another Photoshop class. And it will be, you will not have to attend the class through Zoom. I'm going to post all the videos, all the tutorials on the Blackboard. So you're to do the class at your own time, only for this coming Wednesday. And then on Monday, you're going to have your alter ego is going to be due. Now, if I see that you need more time, we may have the alter ego due on Wednesday. We're going to play. I'm going to see a little bit of where you are. I'm thinking we're going to push it back to Wednesday. Actually, let's push it back to Wednesday. So we're going to see where you are, and then we're going to make the adjustments. But I'm going to share with you all of these different things that you can do in Photoshop. And then you're basically going to, make your final project, and, and to do whatever you want to do to express like your alter ego. Okay. This is a platform for you to say whatever you want. Okay. Now, all right. Okay, so let me know when you're ready.
Hey miss, I'm sorry to ask. I forgot how to like save or download images. Can you just explain if there's like a certain key?
Sure, no
Yeah,
problem.
sure, quick, please.
So you want to save images into Photoshop?
Well, I'm trying to download an image,
Okay,
and then insert it. Yeah,
I got it. So once you download your image, there's a few different ways that you can do it. Is that literally you can, so say for instance, we have this image right here. And if you can drag into the icon if you have a Apple Mac. If you don't, it's totally fine. You can also go into, go to File, and you go to Open, and then you can go to wherever you're saving your images that you're going to use. And then you select that image, and then you just say Open, okay? That's one way. You can, let me see, drag. If you do have a Mac, yes, I did say you can do the Finder, you can drag it through, you could do Open. Is it any other way? Does anyone else know any other way to open up an image? on their
Okay, I think I did it.
Yeah, but those are the ways that I do. Okay, so you just go to File, you do go to Open, and then you can just open it that way. And then if you hold down the Shift key, you can open multiple images at once. So whenever you're ready, let me know. Let me see, what time is it?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, fantastic. So the next thing is we're going to do the healing brush tool. Um,
Wait, we're gonna do what?
was that for me? Is someone, is there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
So the next thing is that we're going to use the healing tool. Oh, wait, so, hold up, the spot healing tool. It's really easy. So you just hold, you take that key, that tool, and say, for instance, that if you want something to be gone, you can just click on that.
That's
Okay.
crazy. Yeah, I was just testing it out. It really does. Oh yeah, okay.
Like I mean, I think the most beautiful part of this young woman is her freckles. But say, for instance, if you wanted that gone, you could kind of make it, well, actually that didn't go away, but you could kind of use this tool to make it go away. For some reason, it's not allowing me to do it. But this is part of like airbrushing, you know. Let's see, this is a little funny. Oh, this is kind of like the clone. Okay. So try that out. Content aware, we're going to talk about that a little bit later. You use that all the time. There's another tool that I want you guys to try out as well. Okay, so we want to
Do it. It's saying alt click to define a source point to be used to repair the image.
okay, yes. So you want to make sure that you're using the spot healing brush tool and not the healing brush tool. Okay.
Okay. Okay, it's working now.
Yeah, I make that mistake all the time. Now, the next thing I want you to do is that we're going to make some adjustments to this image. Now, there's so many things that you can do. The first thing is that on an image is that when you do adjustments, you can go up here, you can go to image, you can make adjustments from here, the the contrast, the brightness, the levels, the curves, all of these different things. Okay, you can make adjustments. Now, over here, which is really fantastic, is that with the adjustments, you could make them and then they'll automatically create a different layer. So the first thing I want you to do is the brightness. Okay, you can make your adjustments. I tend to like mine's to be darker than usual. Okay, so as you can see, I made my brightness and contrast. This could be turned, this is what it looked like before, and this is what it looks like now. Okay, and so it's on a different layer. And then so the next thing you're going to do is that we're going to play with your exposure too. All right. Okay. Um, okay, so let me know when you're ready.
Wait, how do I pull out the exposure? I'm sorry.
No problem. So it's right here under adjustments panel. Just going to go to exposure. You're just going to click that. It's going to create a layer for your exposure. And you can do it more than once too.
Where does it say under adjustments?
If you want to use the top menu, you can, but when you do that, it doesn't allow you to create a layer.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. I see.
You see? So once you made it, once you make it, then that's final. So sometimes what I also do is that you can duplicate a layer. So see this here with the girl? I'm going to select this layer and then I'm going to duplicate the layer just because if I'm concerned about like losing that layer, I can duplicate it. Okay. We are going to duplicate it later anyway, but you know, there's another option too. Okay. So you made your adjustments. So let me know when you're ready. So just let me know when you're ready, okay? And if you are ready, it's that you can play with all of these different types of adjustments too. Just let me know. wonder why. Okay, content aware. Okay, so there it is. I knew I can get rid of the freckles. Okay, so I'm gonna move on, okay? So the next thing is just thinking about the colors. You can literally change the hue as well. Vibrance, if you want it to be more saturated, you know, you can also kind of play with this a little bit. Vibrance and saturation. You can make it desaturated a little bit if you wanted to. Okay. And what's great is that I can decide if I want it or not. And I can close the eye and click back on the eye to see if it works or not. If it's working, then great. And I'm going to close this. We're not going to go through all of these but we are eventually going to use them. Curves, we're going to work on that another day. So say for instance, we have all of these images and I'm happy with this. I want to flatten this image. Okay. And then now it's time for me to duplicate that layer. Okay. So I'm going to duplicate that layer. And so I have two layers. So you have two layers of your image. Okay. So say for instance, what I want to do is I want to bring in another image for the background. I want to place her somewhere else. Okay. Let me see this one. I'm going to close this. I kind of like that one. I can select everything, select all, Command A, so Command C, and then I can paste, or I can even use the edit tool as well. And I can bring this to my, where is she go? Okay, here it is. So I'm going to add in another layer. And I'm going to paste that layer here. And as you can see, you can see it. Have that layer. Then I'm going to have another layer. See if there's anything else that I want. take this layer, I'm gonna bring this one layer back too. Now you can rotate images too. If I okay, so we have our background image, okay. And I'm gonna move this to the back, bring her back. Okay, so the next thing, we're gonna play a little bit with creating a mask. Okay, so you guys are ready? Don't worry, I'm gonna repeat everything. I always repeat every lesson. So this is a lesson today. We're gonna do a double exposure. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select. I'm gonna go to quick selection tool. Okay, I could do the quick object and select here. And then remember with the quick selection is that I can do minus. I want, let me see, what should I do? Should I just do the face? Let's see, maybe I'll just do the face.
Sorry, where's the quick selection tool?
Right here.
What does it look like? Oh, okay.
Okay. Matter of fact, I should, maybe it'd be easier. With the quick selection, you can also change the pin of the tool as well.
Oh, boo.
Yeah, and also the texture too. Okay. Hair makes it a little funny, hard. So I'm gonna just do. There we go. All right, maybe we should use this part. All right. One more time.
Hey.
Please don't yell on the microphone, please.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So no problem. So the next thing, we have this selected. We're going to make another layer. We're going to put that person on top. Like this part, you need to look carefully, okay? Because this is gets a little complicated. So what I like to do is make a little pattern for whenever I'm creating a mask. Is that so? I go to layer 3, and then and so what I do is on that layer 3 is I fill it in. So I have like a clean kind of fill of that shape. And I don't use it, but it's just a little template of whatever is selected, okay? So this is what's selected. Now on here, on the first one, to create a mask, what we're gonna do is add mask layer right here. Just click on this and then bam, okay? We get to decide
Does
what we want, like to be in or to be out.
so
Yeah.
adding layer saves your previous works?
Yes, having a duplicate layer of your image will save you, but also if you create with a mask, it's saved. But I just like to have a duplicate layer just in case for anything. But when you're creating your mask right here, which we just did, a vector mask, when you do that, you can go back and forth and you can decide what you want to be in or out. And I'm going to explain in a second. Okay. So,
Yeah, I'm confused because when I double click, like after I selected everything, it says select and mask, but I don't see where it says double and mask.
okay. So I'm going to go back. Okay. So we have what is selected, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what we have it selected, we're just going to go here. Add mask. And then that's it. Okay. So once we add this mask, this is the mask. Okay. Right here. We can kind of smooth it out if we double click on that mask and fix it, but that's another class. So right here, this is where we have the mask. So with the mask, once you've added, all you do is just go to the paintbrush and I'm going to add in, I'm going to change to the soft paintbrush, and then I'm going to change the pixel. So whatever I want, see, I can go back and I can add in, oh, this is taken in here. So you see this, I could kind of like pull in parts of her face, that's whatever image that's underneath. And then if I say, oh, I don't want, then I can just go back to white. If I go white, it's basically to bring back the image, and then black is to basically erase from the image. And then you're going to erase from the top image, and then you're going to bring in the image that's underneath, okay? So which is this one, okay? So I'm basically kind of like blending in these kind of two, and I can play with my flow. I can play with the opacity of it as well, if I wanted to. And then I can bring in black, and then I can play.
It's not working for me. Like I did the thing with the mask,
Okay,
like it
this is,
looks like that.
okay, no problem. So what image do you have underneath the layer? Do you
Oh,
have,
it's just a copy, like a layer copy.
okay, so that's why. You need to bring in a layer from, remember what I asked to bring in, copy paste another layer?
Yeah.
Okay, so you need to bring in another layer underneath your first picture of the person, okay?
Oh, I'm using a landscape.
Whatever you want, it doesn't matter. You need to, whatever picture you choose, you need to have that underneath. It's only going, you're only going to be able to do the double exposure of the image when you have it underneath.
And I just have to, how do I do that?
Okay, so I'm gonna do it over, okay?
Okay.
Look here, don't look at your screen. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring in my image that I want. I'm gonna find a portrait of a person. Let's get another person. Okay, so we have this portrait of this person, right? To copy, I do Command A for Mac, Control A for PC. Okay. And then I'm gonna paste. Ooh, I forgot to find him again.
Okay, so you press Command A and then
Okay.
you,
Give me 1 second.
okay.
Happened to my guy. Okay, here he is. So Command A, I'm selecting all. Command A is select all. Command C is copy all. Okay. Or copy what is selected. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Untitled 2. I'm going to go to my document and then I'm going to paste. And then I have my person here, right? And if I need to, make whatever adjustments I can too. Now, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this layer really quickly. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to also bring in another image. You have a landscape. I'm going to bring in a landscape. So copy all, Command A. Select all, Command C. Is the copy. And then I'm going to bring this into, I'm going to add another layer. And then I'm going to bring this into this layer. Okay, so so we have our person, okay? And what we're going to do is that we're going to select this person. Let's see, select subject. I'm just going to do select subject. Just easier. And okay, so we have this person selected. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is that we're going to create a mask. Okay, so you with me? Are you can see everything?
Yeah, I can see everything. I got lost when it came to the background because it's just not working for my computer.
Okay, well, you see I have the background as the layer underneath, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a mask and right there. Okay, so I can put him in a different mask. I mean, put him in the background. And then if I wanted to, I can also add in another picture. I can add in multiple pictures.
In the background? Or
Anywhere I want.
because I'm trying to add another picture and it's not working for
Okay,
me.
okay, so wait, you have your portrait picture?
Yeah.
You're trying to bring in your landscape picture
Yes.
and you're having difficulty with showing your landscape picture being uploaded?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you've downloaded your landscape, so you try going to File, Open.
Yes. File. Open. Mm-hmm.
And then you've downloaded whatever image you needed.
Yeah, it just takes me to a different, like a different file on Photoshop. It's not adding it to the picture of the person. Like it's not adding that layer to a picture of a person.
So you see here, you have all of these are all different projects. Like they're not the same. So what I'm doing is that I'm selecting all
Mm-hmm.
file, and I can select all, Command A, and then I'm going to copy this whole image too. And I'm going to go to edit. I can do Command C to copy, and then I'm going to go to my final picture. And then I'm going to paste inside this layer, a separate layer. Okay?
So I just have to copy it.
Yeah, you can copy it. Mhm.
Okay, I'm on a PC, so.
It's the same thing. Instead of command is control. And if you want to do it from the menu, you just do, select, you do command, go to select, and then you select all right here.
Mm-hmm.
You just go to edit, and then you do Command C, copy. Okay.
It keeps making that noise. I don't know what to do.
What noise?
Like, oh, it's, yeah, that noise that it's like, it's not letting me.
Let me see, what's not letting you?
It's not letting me copy it.
What you can do, let me see, you can, okay, so first thing is that you select everything, right? You did that?
Mhm. Yes.
And you select all.
Mhm.
Actually, you know what? Share your screen with me.
I have Zoom on my phone, and then
Okay,
I'm doing it on my PC so it doesn't crash.
I got it. Shoot, so what you can do is you can still upload the image into your document too. So if you have the image uploaded, so what's happening is once you open it, it goes into separate.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you try copying and then pasting, but are you pasting inside the right document?
I think so, because it's.
Try making sure, making sure you copy from the document that you want. Okay.
Mhm.
Just try making sure.
Oh. Okay. Mhm. Okay. So I have the way that it looks where there's the two things where it says layer 1 copy. I have that. But the only problem is trying to get the landscape in it. That's the only problem that I'm having.
Okay, I just want you to make sure that you see over here on the right hand bottom right corner that you have the layers. So
Yeah.
you need to have every single thing in different layers. So you have your person in one layer, have your background in another layer, and then you have another copy of your person in another layer.
It's not letting me put the background in another layer. Like it's just opening something else.
It's only going to go on the layer that you direct it to. So what you have to do is that you create another layer like this. I press this plus button. Okay, you see that? I can make any layers as I want. And then I need to select the layer before I paste, which is for you will be Control V. So before you paste, you need to make sure that you paste in the correct layer. Okay. It's only
So-
going to you tell it to do. So you have to make sure you're copying it from the right document, and you have to make sure you're pasting in the right area. So you paste whatever layer you click on, you select, and that's the layer that's going to be, that is going to be pasted into. Okay,
Yes. So I copied the landscape now. And to put it in the layer, I press what?
so you do Control V, or you can go up to the menu and then you can do paste, edit, and then you can paste into the selected layer that you want. Okay,
It didn't work.
it's something that you're doing. You're not doing it correctly.
It keeps just making it black.
Then you must have copied somewhere black, or it might be the size.
Oh,
Okay.
let me try to. I'm sorry if I'm giving you a hard time.
No,
It's-
no, I just know I've done this for years. Like, it's always the same. Don't worry, you just be patient and just make sure that wherever you're copying is correct. Now, sometimes when you're copying from an image, it can be very gigantic. And where you're trying to paste into is a different size as well. But most of the time, the computer is just only doing what humans tell it to do, you know? So just try to troubleshoot yourself and just see, like, okay, what could possibly be going on? So when you paste inside, it's only black.
Yeah.
And then where you're pasting in a landscape, and you don't see the landscape.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, then I don't know what to tell you. Sorry. Because if you selected everything and then you're copying and pasting it, and then it's turning into black. I don't know. I don't know.
I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm having a really hard
No,
time.
just keep going and just try to go back. I would just close off everything, not just that file, and then redo it again. Okay.
Okay.
Just see, just take your time, take your time. It's no worries. And then I can also help you on another day too.
Okay.
If any of you are having difficulties by yourself, I can help you. But on another day, it's not a problem. Okay, just keep going. Just try to find out what's happening, like, and then a lot of times it's either, you're troubleshooting what you've done. Like, if you're copying, look at what you're copying, look at the document. If it's really large, are you copying the entire document, or you're copying a segment of the document? All of those things. Okay? Anyone else having trouble?
Miss, question, how do you take another image and put into a layer again? I sort of got lost again since you were explaining the other steps. I just want to know how you did
Oh,
that.
yeah, no problem. So once you have your person selected, so all you can do is just really fairly easy. You just go to, you add a mask to that layer. Okay. So say, for instance, here, I can do it to here. I can add a mask. And I just click on here. And then I can kind of create a mask, like from the selected section. Okay. And then when you want to bring back the original image, you just go to the paintbrush on the mask. And then I could, like, black is basically kind of to erase the image, and if you want to bring it back, you could bring it back too. like just by clicking white. I go to white and I want to bring the sky back. Oops. And if I want to, if I wanted to be more of him, I can bring him in there. And in terms of with the background, so we have this image right here. And so this is where we have our mask. I've added a mask. So I'm going to select this mask. I've double click it, then you can see where the mask is. Okay. And once I click that, I'm just going to select that outline so I can just get the perfect cutout of outline of him. So once I have that, then it's whatever you put underneath can be the background. Okay, does that explain? If I wanted to change the color and say, oh, I want to just try what it's like for a red background, then I can add another layer and I can click on that layer. And then you can also invert. What I'm doing is I'm putting this layer inside what is selected. So I can invert as well what is selected. And then I can have a different background for him. Okay, does that answer your question?
I'm still trying to process everything, but
Don't
yeah.
worry. You know what? We're gonna the most important thing, the only thing I want you to learn today is that just understand a little bit about the mask.
This is called double exposure, right, Professor?
Well, we haven't gotten really to the double exposure yet. We're almost there.
So what exactly is this this whole thing called?
Well, this right here is digitally, we are creating like a double exposure. So like right here is an example of a double exposure. So we're learning two things. We're learning how to basically take two images and merge them together. And we also learning how to use a mask. Okay. So this is like an example of the double exposure. Okay. You see? And so within here, if I have these little marching ants around the person, okay? And they're selected inside, this is the mask that I've created for this layer. So inside the mask, make sure that you click on the mask, okay? And then if I use the paintbrush, and if I do black, and then I go to white, for instance. White will bring it back. Why is this?
When I'm putting in an image to the portrait that I have of myself, the image that I got from Pexels, it gets shrunken to the corner of the picture. I think because it's too big, but I don't know how to enlarge the picture I put in.
Got you. So to enlarge anything, okay, so say for instance, we're going to go back to another image, okay? So you have your picture right here. And anytime you need to enlarge it, you can go to image size, and then you can change your image to be any size you want it to be. Okay. The resolution is 72, but the actual image is actually pretty large. So we can scale it down. We can make it smaller or larger if we need to. Okay, that's one way. The other way was the transform. I could go into this image, and if I wanted to, I could transform the size. So say, for instance, the background, I don't really like where it's at. I want to transform play. I select that layer, and then I do Command T. And then I can make this image large, or I can move it around to be smaller if I can. Okay, does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Mhm. Now, I'm going to start off, let me see how much time we have. I'm going to start all over from the beginning, okay? Will that help? Now, just raise your hand if you're still having some difficulty. So I want to see how many of you guys. Okay.
This question, are you gonna upload the recording on today?
I will.
Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm still like sort of lost and everything. So
No. It's okay. It's totally okay. And I'm gonna go, sometimes I go a little faster for certain students. So it's my anytime you're having a problem, it's okay. It doesn't mean anything. And I'm happy to help you. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna start off is the new document. Okay, and so what I'm gonna do, so Kathleen, I want you to look too, is that I'm gonna open up a document. Okay, so I'm gonna go to open. I'm gonna go to download. I would also suggest that every single time that you are using a document, you're saving a document to use in Photoshop for your classes, to create a folder on your desktop that has all of your documents and where all of your projects are saved. Okay, trust me, organizing yourself will make it a lot easier. Okay, so we're going to go to downloads. I'm just going to find an image. I'm just scared to open up because I'm like, it might be something that I'm working on. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, these are some of my, sorry, projects that, okay. Okay, I'm gonna just open up this. This is oh, that was kind of, okay, let's open up this one. All right, so we're gonna open up this one. It's the installation, sorry. Okay, so we have this document and then we wanna open up another document. Okay, so we're gonna do open. I'm gonna add some layers, plus layers. I'm gonna add some layers. And then I have another person in here, possibly that I can use. Let's see. Okay, we don't have another person. So I'm gonna go back to open to 3. Okay, so I have this document. So I'm gonna select all, go to select all. If I wanted to move this document to another place, okay? So I'm gonna do select all, and then I'm gonna copy. I'm gonna go to edit, and then, or right here and copy. Oh yes, now you see what happened. When I select everything, it was on a layer that had nothing. So I must select everything from a layer that is the content that I want. Okay, so I'm gonna go to edit and I'm gonna go to copy. Command C. use Command C, Command V, Command, you're gonna need to know those little shortcuts. So try to remember them. Okay, so I'm copying them. And then I'm gonna go to the document. I'm gonna go to Untitled 3. And then I'm gonna do Command V for paste. Okay. And then it's going to be paste. Now you see, not the entire document is there. Why isn't it there? It's because the previous document was horizontal and it was a different size. So what I could do is just do Command T or Control T for PCs, and I can try to make it fit. I can just cut out this person and make this fit the way I want. Okay. All right, bam, that's done. Now, the next thing is we're going to bring in another, person. Okay, so I'm going to put the other person on the top layer. So I'm going to move the blank layer to the top. I'm going to select that top layer. And then I'm going to find a person. You see, I'm going to open. Okay, I'll use me. Let me see, I have another picture. I'm so sick of this picture. Okay, not really. I don't really take pictures of myself. So let's see. Open. Let's use this picture. Okay, I'm gonna open this one. Now this one goes into a new tab, another document. So I'm gonna select all. And then I'm going to copy. Go to edit. It's hard for me to remember on the top menu because I just use select all, Command A, Command C. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to Untitled 3, and then I'm going to paste. I can do Command V to paste. Bam, it's done. But instead, I'm going to go to edit, and I'm going to go to paste right here. And then I'm going to do Command T to make that other picture just of me just a little bit bigger. It's a little smaller, just a little bigger. Okay. Now with this picture, I'm on a different I'm on a different layer, so I can kind of make adjustments. I can take out things that I want to. I can delete. Okay.
How'd you just do that? That when you
just-
mask the back.
I just used a quick selection. I just did the quick selection, and then I just selected what I wanted to disappear. Okay.
Okay.
Yep. And then I just did delete. Okay. And then what I could do is that once this is selected, I can inverse. Oh, no. So I'm using a quick selection to get me here. Okay. And I'm going to move this over here. So I want it to be, maybe I'll put it here. I can also do Command T again, even when it's selected, and I can change it as well. Okay, so I have that. And now what I'm going to do is press return. Okay. And then I'm going to go to the layer mask. I'm going to add a layer. Okay. And then inside, I'm going to click that layer. Don't click on the image because you affect the image. You'll go to the layer itself. And then I'm going to paint. And then I could bring out whatever layer that's underneath is going to show. Okay. You guys understand?
No, I got lost.
Okay. I'm sorry.
What I'm confused about is once you mask the background that you want to be like invisible, what do you press?
You said, what do you,
Like once you mask the background and you only mask the background and left your face, what do you press? Because that's I don't know what to do after that.
no problem. Okay, so when you mask, basically you create a mask for each, like I created a mask only on this layer where my face is. This is the mask. You see? This is only one mask. And it's on the mask that for the portrait, okay? And it's on top. So once you create that mask, basically you're going to use the paintbrush tool on the mask, not on this one. If you do it on the actual picture, you see, then it'll affect the original picture. So just only going to click onto the mask. You see the little bounding box around the square of the mask in the layer? Does everyone see that? You're going to make sure this is selected. This is where the mask is on this layer, on layer 2. And then you're going to go to the paintbrush. Black is basically, you're going to do is it erases, okay? It's going to erase what is in the portrait, what is on the front, the top. And then it's going to pull through what's behind this layer, okay? On the second layer, which is this one. This is the second layer. Okay. Okay, do you understand?
Yeah, I'm
White,
gonna.
white is going to bring it back. Say, for instance, I'm like, oh, I don't like this. I want to bring back this earring. Or I want to bring back her eye over here a little more. White will bring back. Black is basically to erase. I'm going to flip back to black. Black is to erase what is in the foreground and bring what is in the background. Okay. You understand? So white, I'm going to bring it back. Bring back my face. I want my face in there. Okay. If you don't understand anything, I just want you to understand this. Okay. And if you don't understand it, it's okay. It's not a big deal. It just takes practice. And then some of you, if you need some one-on-one help, just contact me, send me an email, and then we'll arrange a time. And it will just be you and I, and we will work it out. Okay. So I want you just to practice just 2 things today. Okay. Using those layers, creating right here, create your mask. Okay. You add your vector mask and adjusting that mask, bringing in, bringing out, and then adding in another image, a double image in your document. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Do we have anything to submit?
Huh? No, you can, honestly, with the virtual landscape is the only thing that I would say it'd be worth to email me. The rest of them, your classwork, you do not need to send me your classwork. You can, your classwork is for practice, and you have the choice when we build, you all going to build your own website, and you'll have the choice of uploading your classwork to the website. But right now today, no, do not send it to me.
Get it.
Okay. Caitlin, are you getting it?
Yeah, I found out how to do it. Like I was able to like put the picture of the person on the landscape, but it doesn't look like yours. That's it.
That's
It's
all
just-
right. It's all right. Okay, so tell tell me what you want me to repeat again. We still have time left in the class. Anything that you want me to show you again. And trust me, there's no dumb question. I mean, it actually took me years to understand Photoshop because I'm a person that I don't really have relationships with computers. So I had to learn everything from scratch, from the beginning. So it was really challenging for me to get Photoshop. I was used to doing everything by hand, but it's an excellent tool for really anything. And don't worry, don't expect yourself to arrive at a certain place. You are where you are and you will be fine. But trust me, by the end of this class, you're going to be so proud of yourself and you're going to be so proud of what you created. You know, everyone's on different levels. There are certain students in here that are familiar with Photoshop and there are certain students that have never, ever used it. So don't worry. And, you know, the type of computer that you use, and if it's really different. If you're using your iPad, to be honest, I think the iPad does not have all the features. It's not the same as using a desktop or a laptop. So all of those things are really different, you know, detailed things, but just be comfortable about being uncomfortable. Don't feel overwhelmed for learning. This is just an opportunity for you to play with this material, with this program. Okay. Any questions? Anyone want me to show you something else again? Okay, no one wants me to show you anything. All right. So I'm going to stop.